It's Friday Sews. Yay! Hello and welcome, or welcome back. It's Friday Sews at Sewing Seams with Deb. So I'm going to just talk a little bit about what I'm wearing and the dress I finished and a couple of other things I've been doing. So the dress I'm wearing is a Simplicity Amazing Fit, and it truly is an amazing fit. So I made this a long time ago. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's 2021. Well, feels like a long time ago. It's linen from Spotlight, and it's wearing like an old rag, as they say. It's doing really well. Now these patterns that have the amazing fit styling on them, you can choose whether it's sorry, a slim, an average, or a curvy. And I chose the average, and I didn't do many adjustings, except I think I changed the neck a little bit. But what I learnt is that I am quite guilty of accidentally, I wouldn't do it deliberately, stretching the neck. So I need to be very careful with the linen when I'm working with it, or any fabric, but linen in particular, it stretches before I have had a chance to put the neck binding or bias binding on there, whichever way's being finished. But I wear this a lot. It's very hot, and this is great for when it's hot days. And so I've dragged it out again. So yeah, it's a win. So now I have finished the Milenda dress by Tessuti Patterns, which I was working on last time we met, and it's turned out fabulous. I think I mentioned last time why I chose this colour. I will not know. It's not usually a colour I would wear. I don't mind it on the bottom, but as a dress, no. So I need to wear it with colour. So you can see I've mixed it with red, and I love the fact that it's got 5 tucks at the front and 2 at the back. And it just is really flowy, and I've extended it in length and put splits up both sides. So that wasn't part of the pattern or the recommendations. I just thought it'd be nice to do that because it'll make it a bit cooler for the summer weather band. Also, it'll be really nice with the change of season into autumn as well. So I'm really pleased with it. I really did take my time with it and did quite a slow sew, and I'm going to show you how I did the hand stitching on the neck. So having just said that I've made mistakes with necks before, not being careful enough, with this one I was extra careful, and I put what I needed to support it. So I put stay stitching on it, and the self bias binding that I made myself, and I sewed it on as per the recommendation, but I've hand stitched it to finish. The pattern suggested that I stitch along there with the machine. I didn't want to do that. I just wanted to make it like a blind stitch. I didn't want it showing, even though I've got top stitching showing at the back. I don't know if you can see that, maybe. And at the front on those tucks, you can see there's top stitching because the cotton doesn't match that well, but the top stitching just pops a little bit. I didn't want to do it around the neck because I have fallen for that old trap before, and you can see every stitch and every mistake. So I quite often get challenged by doing it very straight and in the ditch, that stitch called stitch in the ditch. So I decided to do that by hand. So I'm very pleased I did, and I'm very pleased with the finished garment. Now I've also made a drawstring project bag, which is purposefully made for my knitting project, because you've got no idea, or maybe you do, how much wool and little projects and everything I've got spread from the beginning to the end of my lounge. So I've ended up finishing it. So this is how it turned out. Mostly it's from scraps. So I've got my project in there. It's just got some lining, very simple, some drawstring, like that, and it's got this little handle that you can just pick it up and go with it. Great thing about it is the handle doesn't get in the way of the opening, because if it was handles that went like one on one, which a lot of the bags do, or even one on one side, it would be lopsided. So I'm thinking this is great. That's looking blue, but it's actually purple with yellow, which are great colours. And then I sort of later thought, shame I didn't have more of this fabric, because I'd like to make a shirt or something out of it for myself. But anyway, that's my knitting drawstring project bag, and that's the pattern that I just got off the internet. Kandou Crafts, Kandou Crafts, drawstring project bag. Very easy sew, and really nice to have something a little bit flash to put my project in, instead of old horrible baskets. So that was good. Now, let's check out where I'm up to with my knitting. Well, I think I've done about 6 rows since I spoke to you last. Not much. It's coming along. And this is toe up, which is a different process than the last time. The pattern is, sorry, with the last pair, sorry, the rustling. The pattern is fingering weight toe up socks for magic loop. That's the pattern. Now, I've used this pattern before. These socks, the length of the legs won't be going that long, I wouldn't think. But it's knitting up beautifully. And the yarn is Marphologiya. I bought this when I was in Melbourne. It's Marphologiya. I've ripped it. It's a perfect, yeah, 4-ply, specifically for, put together especially for socks. It's not knitting up really, really softly, but I can feel that it's going to be very, very strong. So it's a bit cottony. I know it's got no cotton in it. 80% wool, 20% nylon. The beginning of the, really interesting, the beginning and the middle of the ball has this great big yellow string on it. See, it's connected. And what that does, what you do is you start one of the socks at one of the yellows, and you start there, then you know that that's where you begun when it comes to the line of the colour. So that's what I did here. And then when you go to do the second sock, so that's what I did, sorry, that's what I did here, and I started on the outside. Then when you come to do the second sock, you start at the other end that's got the colour on it, or the yellow, and you don't start at include the yellow, but you start at the beginning there, and you end up with say a pair of socks. So that's how it's worked out to be the perfect pair. How good is that? I love that idea. Yeah, so I went to the sewing day where you bring your own project, bring your machines and so on. And so I made the bag at the sewing day. But I think if I was sewing it at home, I'm pretty sure it would only take me an hour, maybe, to knock it up, maybe a bit longer. But at the sewing day, it took me about 5 hours. Have a guess why? Lots of talking. Of course. So that's why we go, for the community. So, yeah, that was a lot of fun to make that when we were all together. Everyone had the different project, though. We all didn't do the bag. I think I was the only one that was doing something other than a garment. So that was just last weekend. So what else is happening? I've got a couple of projects cut out. Another one is a knitting bag, but a smaller version, because I thought an actual pair of socks only needs a smaller bag. So that's my idea, and I might make a couple of more while I'm on it, and maybe they'll start being gifts. So that's cut out and ready to go. I have got the Love Notions Harmony blouse cut out of some leftover plain white linen mix, linen blend. So that has been sitting on my cutting table. I am not joking, for 4 months. Moving it over there, moving it over there, moving it over there. And finally I've cut it out. So I've got that far. I've also got another couple of stretch garments cut out. They've been cut out for more than 4 months. So I've got a bit of things, a few things on the go. So I am waiting for some slightly cooler weather because this sewing room is very hot. We've had a huge, very, very long, not huge, a very long bout of hot, relentless hot weather here with hot nights of 30 degrees. Now, I think that's about 85 degrees Fahrenheit. That's at night time. And then the days have been about 42, some of them in a row, and around about 37 or 35. So it's been pretty hot. So we've just had now 2 cooler days of late 20 degrees, 28, and the nights have been slightly cooler. So it's a bit of light relief, but the heat's coming back. Anyway, why I'm talking about the weather is because, as I said, this sewing room is pretty hot. It gets a full blast of the heat on the walls, and there's no air conditioning in here. I've got this really old blaster of a fan busily circulating the hot air. And mornings, when it's cooler, I concentrate on doing exercise while it's cool, or try and sleep in a little bit. Never happens. Get my exercise done in the mornings. And by the time I'm ready to get in the sewing room, it's already too warm. So anyway, that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Someone at sewing the other day said, not a good idea, but you know what? It's how weird. I didn't even think of it. Maybe I could move my sewing machines into where the big air conditioner is in the other area of the house. Hello? That was a bit slow of me. I didn't even think of it. So whether I feel like moving everything to do that or not. Anyway, regardless of that, I haven't really knuckled down and sewn those projects, those unfinished objects. So that's ahead of me. That my word for the year is gratitude. And I am practicing my saying 3 things I'm grateful for each day, even though sometimes I just write it down. So that's going really well. And in that theme, I want to say I'm very grateful for you for watching and for constantly coming back. Yeah, I'm just loving having you make comments and hit the like button. And for those people that are new, I very much welcome you and hope that you enjoy my channel. Look, there's a lot of talking that goes on. Not always a lot of sewing, but I like gas bagging. So what's not to like? Nothing wrong with that. So anyway, having said all that, I'll leave you with it. I will say, have a good week. Take care of yourself. Stay well. And stay cool if it's hot, or warm if it's freezing. Apparently it's really, really cold in the middle of winter where you are in America and Canada and so on, and the continent. So take good care of yourself, and hopefully you'll get some sewing in and enjoy. Okay, until I see you next time. Bye.